welcome back to Screaming Geek Media. I'm Jerry the Geek, and today we're going to be talking about the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection. But before we do, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, home theaters, movies in general, please check out my other videos on my channel, like and subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. So let's dive into this video. We're going to talk about the Blu-ray edition of Silent Night, Deadly Night, the collection. Actually, it has number 3, 4, and 5 all together. Just got released by Vestron Video. We'll go through. We'll talk about all three of them. We'll talk about them individually. You know, about the movie itself, the video, and the audio. Then afterwards, we'll talk about the packaging of the whole set. So let's start out with Silent Night, Deadly Night number 3. Better Watch Out. You know, originally came out in 1989, and you got Samantha Scully, Bill Moseley, and Richard C. Adams, and directed by Monte Hellman. Now, it was a good movie, actually. I was surprised. You know, sometimes with these low-budget horror movies, especially when it comes to sequels, you know, they're not the best in the world, so I went in with low expectations, plus I've heard a lot of bad things about them, but this one actually was pretty good. It is connected to the first two, because of course at the end of the second one, Ricky is killed, but so in this one, through the magic of surgery, he's actually kept alive. He's in a coma, and his doctor is doing experimentations with people with ESP, and they got this girl. They're trying to see if they can, with the psychic abilities, to connect with someone that's in comatose. And this girl, she's blind, but she has these psychic abilities. She's able to see, makes a connection with Ricky, and actually sees his visions, his memories. And eventually, he actually does come out of his coma, and basically comes after her, and so the killing starts throughout this whole movie. But it's pretty, like I said, it's a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. Of course, it was originally filmed in a 35mm. It's presented in a full frame presentation, 135:1, which is weird. I think anything newer, this is '89. I'm not sure why they didn't make it a widescreen, so I'm not sure about that. As far as the scans, I couldn't find out any information as far as what they did to scans for this. But looking at it, I'd be really surprised if the original actually looked this good, because this, for being just a Blu-ray, this looks like a fresh scan, and it's actually pretty clean throughout. I mean, there actually is some pretty good details in it. Some, colors actually come out a little bit. I mean, it's not HDR, 4K, but for Blu-ray and something old and low budget, actually done fairly well. Some solid blacks, leather coats, some, the hairs, facial hair. So, yeah, in my opinion, actually this looks pretty good. A lot better than I was expecting. For the audio, we got a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0. Nothing fancy here, but it sounds like a pretty nice cleaned up audio track. It's, well balanced across the front. The dialogue's clear. Nothing spectacular right home about it. I mean, it's a low budget horror movie, so you're not expecting a whole lot out of it. Now, for the bonus features of this one, we have an audio commentary with film historian Jarrett Gahan. And for interviews, we have Outshine the Brain Cap, which is an interview with actor Bill Moseley, which I did watch. It was pretty interesting. Monte and Me, an interview with creative consultant Stephen Gatos. For a live audience, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. It's an interview with executive producer Richard Gladstein. And then we'll also have a trailer and still gallery. So some pretty cool stuff here. That was Vestron Video put on some really nice bonus features. Now, next up we have is Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation. This one is where they kind of went off the rails. The story, there's no connection with the first three. Watching the bonus features, they kind of they just decided to throw out any other stories and just they come up with something completely original. And there's only a couple scenes that they're actually inside a guy's his parents' home, for Christmas. That is the only Christmas references in the movie. Well, except for, I guess, toward the beginning, there's a scene where you see some Christmas wreath or decoration while the couple is walking. But other than that, it doesn't have a Christmas theme to it. There's no real connection to the first three regarding Billy and Ricky. The only thing is there's one scene in this where he's watching turns on the TV and you see a scene from number 3, and he just goes, he makes a comment about a Santa Claus slasher. But that's it. Other than that, it's a completely different story. There's nothing about any slasher references here. It all has to do with like a little bit of a witchcraft. And the movie stars Clint Howard, Neith Hunter, Tommy Hickley, and directed by Brian Usna. And it's a pretty cool role for Clint Howard. I mean, usually when you hear his name, he just always he does cameos or minor roles in movies. But the way he looks, he always makes me think of a creepy little stalker dude. So his role in this, he fits the bill perfectly. He plays it great. I'm glad he's got a major role for a change instead of a little cameo. Has some comedy in it as well. So if you haven't seen it, keep an open mind. It has nothing to do with the first 3. It's just a completely movie on its own. Should have been named separately, but they wanted to capitalize on the Silent Night, Deadly Night name. Kind of like what they did with Halloween 3. But yeah, on its own, it's a good movie. And again, Vestron did a really good job with the video. It's presented the full frame aspect ratio again. It looks really good. I was very impressed with the overall picture quality. Again, you got some good details. A pop of color here and there. Facial hairs and some of the dirt and grime scenes that's real gritty really look really nice here. Again, overall nice video presentation. Now for the audio, again, they gave us the DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, and again, nice, well balanced across the front, clear dialogue throughout. Nothing spectacular to write home about, but a good solid track here. So the bonus features on number 4, we have an audio commentary with director Brian Usna, and for interviews we have a ritualistic behavior. Interview with screenwriter Woody Keith, Twisted Visions, an interview with surrealistic design and effects artist Screaming Mad George. For a live audience, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, an interview with executive producer Richard Gladstone. And then we have a trailer and still gallery. So again, it's cool to see some nice new bonus features here. Now, last up, we have Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. This one stars William Thorne, Jane Higginson, and Tracy Frame. And also we have Mickey Rooney, which was pretty cool to see. Him in his later years. And directed by Martin Kurtoser. And the movie came out in 1991. So all 3 of these movies were done back to back, one year after another, 89, 90, and 91. I think they was all straight to video. Again, this one, like the last one, doesn't have any references to the first 3. But at least this one is themed around Christmas, so there is that. It's about a toy maker that's making toys that come to life and kill people. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Toy Story on a demented version of it. When I'm watching this, that's all I can think of is the toys coming to life in Toy Story. So this is just a darker version of it. Again, as far as the film, the negatives, I'm not sure as far as the scans. I couldn't find any info on it, what kind of scan it was. Like I said, it had to be fairly new because, again, it looks fairly good. Again, it was in a full frame aspect ratio. The colors really pop on this. There's some good details, the facial hairs, those skin tones. It could look a little soft at times, but overall this is a very solid presentation. And when in a toy store, there's lots of detail when you see all the toys on the shelves, you know, Christmas decorations. So this one really does look pretty good. So I'm very impressed with the video here as well as the last two. And then for the audio, they gave us, again, a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0. The audio is pretty even throughout all three of these. You know, this one is the same, you know, sounds really nice, nice balance across the front, nice clear dialogue. Everything's, you know, crisp and clear. You don't hear any hissing or static. Now you would expect from an old, you know, a low budget movie. Now for the bonus features for the number 5, we have an audio commentary with director, co-writer Martin Katrosser. Interviews, we have The Best Presents, an interview with producer, co-writer Brian Yuzna. Pino's Truth, interview with actor Brian Bremer. The Most Toys, an interview with surrealistic design and effects artist Screaming Mad George. For a live audience, The Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, interview with executive producer Richard Gladstein. And trailer and still guide. Again, Vestron did a pretty good job getting some new bonus features here. So for the packaging for this thing, we have, actually it comes in this nice little slip cover, but I'll get rid of it. All 3 movies come in the same case. And the artwork, they basically use the same artwork on all 3 discs, which is kind of cheap, but it allowed them to sell it for a cheaper price, so I can't really bitch about that. So to sum up, Vestron did a very good job. You know, they putting 3 movies out and, you know, in one set. You know, quality-wise, it's very well done. The movies themselves, I actually enjoyed all 3 of them better than I thought they would be. So many times I want to look at some of these low-budget movies or even big-budget movies that are shit movies and I waste time with. So I went in with low expectations. I loved all 3 of these. I would be willing to watch them all again. I think the worst one for me was number 4, Initiation, the kind of the witchcraft story. I think I liked that one the least, but it was still pretty good. It was entertaining. But yeah, if you like Silent Night, Deadly Night, I mean, this is a nice collection. I do have the first one. I haven't done a review for it yet. I've been kind of waiting because I don't have number 2. That one's kind of hard to get now. So I'm thinking once I get that, maybe I'll do a review on the first 2. But this one, you know, for getting all 3 of them for one low price, I mean, they've been $11.99 on Amazon, which right now it's out of stock on Amazon. But Best Buy still has it listed on their site. I just checked. And they're still selling it for $11.99 as well to match Amazon. Walmart has it in stock, but theirs is $17.96. It's still not bad when you're considering you're getting 3 movies in a set. So if you get anything less than $20, I think that's pretty good. So I think with this set, number 2 and 1 are in high demand right now. So I'm keeping an eye on it, checking every day. And so as soon as the number 2 comes up again, I'm not waiting for the wife. I'm just going to go ahead and get it ordered. If I have to order something else with it, I will. But to have the whole collection, it'll be nice. I still love the first one. You know, the first one's still fantastic. It's an all-time classic. So that pretty much does it for my look on the Blu-ray set of Silent Night, Deadly Night, you know, number 3, 4, 5. Please check out my other videos on my channel. Like and subscribe and turn your bell notifications on. And we'll see you soon. Geek out.